Hi, this is Logan Marks, and this is my Arduino Assignment 1, Part 1A and Part 1B. Here in 1A, the objective is to construct a circuit and create Arduino code which displays the signal of a push button as the button is pressed and released. The Arduino board and the computer are set to communicate with each other, which allows for a visual display of the button signal. Before the button is pressed, the circuit is not closed, meaning the signal of the button will remain 0 until pressed. When the push button is pressed, the signal will be changed to 1 to verify that the button successfully closed and completed the circuit. The results can be displayed numerically and graphically. So right here we initialized pin button to be equal to 8, have a value of 8, which is the pin number on the Arduino board that it will be connected to. Then we have pin mode, which sets the pin 8 as an input, and serial begin, which initializes the serial port and allows for the communication between the Arduino board and the computer. Next, we have a declared variable start button with the values obtained using the digital read function, which reads the state of pin 8. And then for serial print, it displays the state in the serial monitor. It will be 0 if the button is unpressed and 1 if the button is pressed according to the state that the button is in.
Here we have the setup for the Arduino assignment part 1A, which utilizes a button to open and close the circuit on command. Whenever the button is pressed down, the circuit is completed and the signal transferred to the Arduino program will be a 1. Whenever the button is released, the transferred signal will be a 0. Right here we have a button which is powered from the 8 pin, which is specified in the Arduino program. On the other side we have the button that is wired to the ground via a resistor, and the white wire takes it from the 5-volt source into the other end of the button. Whenever it's pressed, the circuit is completed. The 0 and 1 results can be viewed on the Arduino program. So here's the code. I'm going to verify it, upload it, and then we can see it numerically as all zeros until I begin to click it, and as I hold it, becomes ones. Click and click. Yep, like that. And then the same thing can be shown graphically. Unclicked, click, unclick, click, unclick, click.
Here in 1B, the objective was to construct both Arduino code and a circuit which utilizes a push button to activate an LED on command. The code is constructed so that the signal of the button will be transferred to the Arduino program, and that this signal would notify the program if the button is pressed or unpressed. The output signal that the button produces is designed to be the dictating factor on when the LED will light up and turn off. When the button is pressed down, the signal sent to the computer is 1, letting the program know to power the light through the specified LED pin. When the button is released, the output signal is 0, notifying the computer to turn off the power to the LED. So first off, we initialize the button pin variable to be equal to the number 8, which is the push button pin. Then we have the variable LED pin, which is set to 3, corresponding to the pin that the LED will be in. Then we initialize button state equal to 0, which will be used for storing and reading the button's conditions, meaning pressed or unpressed. Then we have pin mode. It initializes the LED pin as the output. Then we initialize the push button pin as the input, and then the serial allows for the communication between the computer and Arduino board. Button state is equal to the digital read, so it reads the state of the push button value. So right here it tells the program if it is pressed or not pressed. And then we have an if statement, meaning that if it was determined that the button state was pressed, then it needs to be the output needs to be equal to high. It checks to see if the button is pressed. If it is, then the button state is high. If the button was determined to be on, the LED will be powered and the LED will light up. If the button was determined to be off, then the LED will not be powered and the LED will turn off.
Here is the Arduino Part 1B. It's a very similar circuit to the Part 1A, except in the addition of the LED. The LED will be turned on or off according to the signal output that the button sends to the Arduino program. If the Arduino program receives a 0 from the push button, meaning that the circuit is not closed, the LED will not light up, but whenever you press down on it, the program will receive a 1 as its signal, which will tell the program to activate the specific pin for the LED, which in this case it is 3. So whenever you press the button, the LED comes on. Whenever you release it, the LED turns off. Let's verify it. I'm going to upload it. And now whenever I click the button, the LED comes on. Whenever I let go, it goes off.